Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Monday, November 5th, 2018. Shout out to Jeremy White, longtime follower, great contributor to the work that we do here. He was watching Sunday Night Football last night and sent me an audio clip that I got to show you. This is one of the better mockings I've seen from the world of professional sports. What I'm going to do is show you this clip, and then I'm going to expand on what they really did here. Let me make sure I got my volume boosted so you can hear it. Okay, I think that should be loud enough. Listen, Truth Seeker, this clip's of just over a minute.
Gillette Stadium, so much on the plate tonight for an appetizer. Down to the feet of Michelle DeFoy. Michelle.
Well, Al, for centuries, the number 12 has been used as a measuring stick. 12 months in a year, 12 eggs in a dozen. And in the case of tonight's 12s, you could say we're measuring greatness. In numerology, the number is quite special. The number 1 is a prime number and signifies the beginning and the singular nature of the universe. 2 is about seeing two sides of any situation, diplomacy, partnership, and the mutable nature of life. And if you're a 12 person, you're known as dynamic and energetic, unafraid of pushing boundaries. You're often at the center of the action, preferring to be around people, as well as assuming a leadership position. Ring a bell? And then there's this, Al. 12 is the most worn number by quarterbacks already in the Hall of Fame, pro football's ultimate measuring stick. And eventually, Canton's going to have to make room for 2 more.
You bet, Michelle. Meanwhile, good news for Rodgers, who told us last night in our meeting he was going to try to play if the doctor said it was okay.
All right, so they had to give the fans the numerology lesson on 12 before we had the battle of Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, who both wear the number 12. But what people didn't understand was this: Gematria. The most pure cipher in calculating the numbers behind the English language is this dark blue cipher. It's the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. So the way this works is S is the 19th letter. The numerology of 19 is 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So S is 1. N's the 14th letter. The numerology of 14 is 1 plus 4 is 5. F's the 6th letter. So you have 1 plus 5 plus 6, 12. You're getting this numerology lesson on Sunday Night Football. And the reason the number 10 is written up here is because all year I've been telling people that if you play fantasy football, make sure if there's a 10 on the roster for Sunday Night Football, you got them in because they're going to have the big game. And, of course, it was Josh Gordon, number 10, who was the big fantasy point performer. It's been this way every single week this year. Not by accident. It's because all of the world of sports is scripted by numerology. The practice of coding numbers into words is considered Jewish numerology, coming from Kabbalah, known as Gematria. And for the record, number 10 last night had a record, or not a record long, but a long play of the game of 55 yards, which is hilarious because 55 is the 10th Fibonacci number and the 10th triangular number. And if you don't know what triangular numbers are, it's this. If you add 1 through 10 together, it equals 55. Here's 55, the 10th Fibonacci, the 10th triangular. If you don't know what Fibonacci numbers are, they're the sequence that goes 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 24. Or not 24, excuse me. 8, 13, 21, 34, 55. And you're probably like, what? But all you're doing in that sequence is you're taking the last 2 numbers you said and then adding them together to get the next number. So before 55 was 21 and 34. 21 plus 34, 55. So Fibonacci numbers said to be connected to the golden ratio, phi, the numbers of God. But anyway, in Gematria, numerology equals 55. Fibonacci equals 55. So this game that starts out with a numerology lesson ends up having the biggest play of the game be a 55-yarder with number 10, where there's been rituals like this each week on Sunday Night Football. But the thing about 12, hold on, before we're getting to the 12 point real quick. Yesterday's date also had 53 numerology. The player that wears the number 10, his name's Josh Gordon, which has Gematria 53, like Vesica Pisces. The Vesica Pisces is the shape of the football. That's why there's a 53-man roster, a 53-yard wide field. why this year is so special that it's Super Bowl 53. If you missed my work on Josh Gordon's return to the NFL and how I predicted the day that he would go to the Patriots, which came true, while he was still a member of the Browns, go back and check out those videos. Click the videos tab, do a search the name Josh Gordon. But here's the kicker right here. This is what people didn't understand about 12 when they were doing this. Yes, both quarterbacks wear the number 12, but only one of them has a name that sums to 12 in Gematria, and that's Tom, as in Tom Brady. Tom 12, SNF 12. And Patriots equals 37, which is the 12th prime number, you see? Patriots 37, the 12th prime. Once upon a time, the year before the Triple Crown won by American Pharaoh, I pointed out that it had been 37 years since the last Triple Crown, and the next Triple Crown horse was the 12th. 37 is the 12th prime. This prime number relationship thing in sports is Lock City, and the Triple Crown was coming. And then a horse named American Pharaoh won it. That word American has Gematria 37 too. Also, with regards to primes, if you're not on my Patreon page, I told people why I like the Patriots to beat the Packers because of prime numbers. Yesterday, 11-4, 11 plus 4 is 15, was a date with 15 numerology. I pointed out before the game that the Packers could become 15-15 on SNF in the NBC era, which they did. By losing, they became 15-15. And I said at the same time, Tom Brady can get his 47th primetime win all time over the Packers, which he did. 47 is the 15th prime. And again, you don't want to doubt the prime numbers on prime time because they hit again and again. It happened on Thursday Night Football too. It was all about 55 with Thursday Night Football with the 49ers beating the Raiders. Think about the Packers logo, the capital G on the Freemason. On the Freemason logo, it's a capital G as well, set beneath a compass that's set at 47 degrees as a tribute to the 47th problem of Euclid, which is a problem about how to establish foundation. The word foundation equals 47 in Gematria. The first Super Bowl year was the 47th season of the NFL. Everything about the NFL has always been done by numerology. Speaking of which, Tom, just using the alphabetic order, is 48. And what was the score last night? 31-17, 48 points. Big tribute to Tom. Notice that Julian Edelman had a one pass for 37 yards, scripted, like I always say, from the final score to the box score. For 5 years straight, I've been talking about Tom Brady in 35. You go through all of Tom Brady's box scores, you'd be overwhelmed by how many times he has 35 passes on the game. Those games where he throws a ton of passes, oftentimes he'll have 35 completions. I call that the Tom Brady number. Remember the whole trial that Tom Brady had to go through, the Deflategate thing with all the cartoon drawings of supposedly him being in a courtroom, which never happened, all just part of the mocking. It was all centered around 35. But anyway, Tom Brady's 35, QB's 35. He's born August 3rd, 1977, a date with 35 numerology. Football equals 83, like his 83 birthday. It used to be him and Peyton Manning, the face of the league. Peyton Manning born on the 83rd day of the year, March 24th. They say the best QB draft class ever was 83. There's a whole lot more to all these riddles. But, you learn the code. You can often see exactly what's being done every moment of the script throughout the game. And you can often call the winners before they happen. Told people this weekend I like the Patriots. You know what other game I guaranteed this week? I said this was one of the safest picks of the week. The Saints over the Rams. If you're on my Patreon, you can go there. I ranked this as one of the safest picks of the week, the Saints to beat the Rams. And you know what else I said if you go watch my picks, which you can still watch if you sign up for the Patreon? It's okay to watch last week's picks because you'll learn how I do this. Every weekend, we do a live discussion. I go over my picks. We talk about it as a community of decoders, and we learn from each other. This week, as a community, almost all of us, I think there was one person who was in disagreement. They thought it'd be the Rams. But overwhelmingly, it was the Saints. And I told people it was going to be all about the number 45 before the game was even played. Drew Brees was going to become 4-5 against the Rams. And that mattered because Drew Brees equals 45, New Orleans equals 45, and our most pure cipher. Lo and behold, he beats them by 45 points. And I also explained that it was going to be a big, fat Catholic ritual with the Saints improving to 7-1. And sure enough, they did. Catholic equals 71 and 35. Look at how many points the Rams went down with. 35. The mockery. The scripting. You know, the other thing I pointed out was that we just talked about this big accomplishment with Drew Brees, where he eclipsed Peyton Manning's record in the 71,000 and some yard mark, throwing it to a guy with a birthday on January 7th, 7/1. That was in the Native American genocide slaughter game. We pointed out how that game was 71 days from the Pope's birthday. And the Pope's been synced up with the NFL many a times before. This isn't anything new. The Saints are the most Catholic team in the league. Next ones are the Falcons and the Cardinals. But I pointed out yesterday how it was 44 days from the Pope's birthday. Saints is 44 and 19 in our base ciphers. I pointed out that Jared Goff and Sean McVay would be stopped at 19 wins against the Saints. It was a pretty easy read, this game. The other thing is, the last time the Rams started undefeated and lost their first game against the Saints, that was 2001, the year they ended up in the Super Bowl. So that was another thing we were looking at. And yesterday I did an interview with a guy who doesn't know very much about anything, but his channel, ironically, is called No More News. And despite being here for 5 years and proving my points about 10,000 times over and calling nearly every sports championship from the beginning of seasons, you know, this guy wanted to argue and say that all this seemed bogus to him. Meanwhile, as we're speaking, you know, games are finishing with the exact scores I talked about, you know, before they were even played. Outcomes we already anticipated. And, you know, he just reminded me of what a retard is, literally, because I was showing him like pretty much undeniable examples and he was still denying. So that's the problem with stupidity. You can't undo it. Some people are just too dumb. Again, it goes back to the Talmud. The people who go by the Talmud do all this to us. And that's why I say, you know, maybe they're not wrong to do what they do because they realize how dumb the average human being is. And perhaps they should be treated like cattle, because if you look around at these dumb, hopeless people that spend their money on these games, you know, I can't tell you how many of you guys have like left a message that you're going to a game, and I bet you guys haven't even picked up my book. I'm like, really? You're going to the game after you watch my channel? Anyway, people are just so dumb. Why not exploit them? I almost sympathize with the enemy, you know? I almost do. By the way, it was also week 9, you guys. It's the 99th NFL season. Drew Brees wears 9. Drew Brees equals 99. That was also – Drew Brees got his first record this year on the day, leaving 99 days left in the year. It's been a year of Drew Brees rituals by the numbers. 45 is also the 9th triangular number, which means if you add 1 through 9, it equals 45. But, you know, I'm just sick of proving my points for 5 years straight, having all the evidence on my side, and then just having to go up against retards who dismiss the plain, honest truth, especially when they consider themselves part of the truth community, you know? So, Goyim will be Goyim. And don't forget this native genocide slaughter game where Brees got the record at the 2-minute warning. The score was 26-6. Before the game was played, we talked about how it was synced up with the Pope, who's the 266th Pope, you know? Also, from Brees' birthday to that game was his 266th day of his age. These are all things we talked about before the game. Remember what happened this day in baseball? Both the native teams got slaughtered and the Redskins got wasted too. It was the genocide day. The word genocide equals 62. There were 62 combined points in the NFL game, 43-19. The loser to the Saints went down with 19. Think about it. Saints 19, football 43. But Dodgers beat the Braves 6-2. And then Astros beat the Indians by last year's World Series score. Or not World Series, but, you know, the 113th World Series. It was Astros and Dodgers. They were the two teams that genocided the native teams. And later that same day, the Redskins got wasted. So every single day, the world of sports, it's perfect scripts. College and pro, Division I, not junior college ball, you know. Oh, yeah, and did you guys see this headline? Frank Gore. Remember when Frank Gore came into the league? They said he fell way down in the draft because he had so many surgeries out of college, and they said his career probably wouldn't even last a season. I wonder if Frank Gore even ever really had a single surgery in his life, honestly. Just knowing how they fake all these injuries and all these fake narratives for these WWE sports. because Frank Gore is having like one of the longest careers ever for a running back. And he just passed Barry Sanders, who did it in a lot shorter time, the yardage mark. But you got to love the emphasis on how Gore had 53 yards. He's playing for the Dolphins this year. Of course, he played college football in Miami too. But it's Miami's 53rd season. It ends in Super Bowl 53. It looks like I forgot to write it up here, but this game was 11-4-2018, 11 plus 4 plus 20 plus 18, date with 53 numerology. Date with 53 numerology, gets 53 yards in the Dolphins' 53rd season, surpassing who's said to be the greatest running back of all time by, most football analysts, most football fans. No wonder Barry Sanders quit early. He probably had some integrity. He's like, you know what? This scripted football crap, I've had enough. But again, 53, that special number. Vesica Pisces equals 53, the shape of the football, why there's a 53-man roster, why there's a 53-yard wide field. And if you missed my video on LeBron numerology and how we knew he was going to beat the Blazers and how it was a big tribute to him, King James, and his coach, Luke Walton, who's the son of Bill Walton, who won the only championship ever for the Blazers in '77. You got to go back and check that out. From Luke Walton's birthday to the big win over Portland was 7 months and 6 days later, or on his 7th month and 7th day of his age, like how the Blazers won their only championship in 76-77 over the 76ers, and it was Bill Walton, the big star, 77 and 77. Sports have always been scripted this way. It's a father-son game. It's a joke. It's a mockery. You got to be a goyim not to see through it. Unfortunately, goyimism is a real thing. It prevents people from seeing the truth every day, the obvious truth that stares them in the face, the obvious mockery from the Talmud thumpers. Just one more time, let's just close out and watch this. Hope some of the idiots who are here who troll every day are watching this. Numerology in sports, what a wackadoodle. Let's just watch it one more time for all the retards out there. Here we go.
Gillette Stadium, so much on the plate tonight for an appetizer. Down to the field of Michelle DeVoy. Michelle.
Well, Al, for centuries, the number 12 has been used as a measuring stick. 12 months in a year, 12 eggs in a dozen. And in the case of tonight's 12s, you could say we're measuring greatness. In numerology, the number is quite special. The number 1 is a prime number and signifies the beginning and the singular nature of the universe. 2 is about seeing two sides of any situation, diplomacy, partnership, and the mutable nature of life. And if you're a 12 person, you're known as dynamic and energetic, unafraid of pushing boundaries. You're often at the center of the action, preferring to be around people, as well as assuming a leadership position. Ring a bell? And then there's this, Al. 12 is the most worn number by quarterbacks already in the Hall of Fame. Pro football's ultimate measuring stick. And eventually, Canton is going to have to make room for 2 more.
You bet, Michelle. Meanwhile, good news for Rodgers, who told us last night in our meeting he was going to try to play if the doctor said it was okay.
Don't forget, a football field's 120 yards long. And for the retard out there going, no, it's 100. Hey, dumbass, 10 yards in each end zone. 120 yards, 12 months in the year, 12 hours in the morning, in the evening, 12 constellations. Jesus and the 12 disciples, the sun and his 12 disciples, the sun and the 12 constellations. Another coincidence for the Goyim. You know what else we'll do? I feel like calling the NFL. So let's call them about this. God, I wonder if they're on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. Let's try to call them. Here, I'll switch the camera. Hold on here, truth seekers. How do I switch this camera? We got to make a phone call. I got to get out some of this frustration I feel today. All right, what's the NFL's phone number? I forget it. I'm depressed that Robert Roberts doesn't work there anymore. Let's see. NFL HQ phone number. Tell me they're open until 6. Maybe I should call the Players Association sometime. I never tried that out. NFL customer service phone number. All right, let's try this one out.
you for calling NFLShop.com, the official store of the National Football League.
I don't think that's no, we don't want NFL Shop. Where's the number I normally call? Oh, there it is. Now I see it. It's the New York area code, 212-450-2000. I should save this one on my phone.
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling National Football League. How may I help you?
Yes. Can I talk to the person who's in charge of Sunday Night Football?
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling National Football League. How may I help you? Hold on one minute.
Sorry, Taylor Rogers is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hey, Taylor, just calling back. Still haven't heard from you or Robert Roberts. Really enjoyed how you started Sunday Night Football last night with the numerology lesson about 12. That was great. Next week, could you do me a favor? Could you complete the lesson and teach the Jewish half, the Gematria portion, where how Tom equals 12? That would have been great at the end of the game. Oh, by the way, about 12, both QBs might wear the number, but Aaron doesn't sum to 12. However, Tom does. And you know what else Tom sums to? 48. Like the amount of points on the board tonight. Thanks for buying the tickets and the beer, Goyam. I think people would really enjoy it. I think it'd be really truthful. I think it'd be a step forward for the NFL. Also, shout out to the Drew Brees beating the Rams. Deja vu of 2001, right? Deja vu, the Rams' first loss against the Saints. You know, we saw it over here. Drew Brees becoming 4-5 against the Rams. You know, hilarious stuff. Drew Brees equals 45 in Gematria. New Orleans 45. They win with 45 points. Tribute to the Catholic Pope. They improved to 7-1 Catholic. Catholic 71 and 35. We liked how you had the Rams go down with 35. Very clever. So keep them coming. Love the numerology lesson for Sunday Night Football. If you could add one to Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, I'd love to see one with the Cowboys tonight. I remember a few years ago in the playoffs, Cowboys-Lions, you guys came back from the halftime commercial break, and you did this cool graphic with the sun. You turned it to the Star of David. That was awesome. You should do that with another numerology lesson. You should even put up some quotes from the Talmud about how superior you guys are. You know, it would be perfect. Talmud supremacy, numerology lesson, gematria lesson. Trust me, the Goyim still won't get it. You know how I know? I've been exposing it 5 years cold, calling your championships from the start of seasons. People still don't believe it, man. They still don't believe it. That pathetic script with the Patriots in the Super Bowl, that 25-point comeback, you should, oh, it's too bad you guys were probably contributed to have my channel deleted, but I still remember the trolling. I guaranteed the Patriots would win that Super Bowl, and it was all about 25. Little did I know you guys had the 25-point comeback scripted on 2/5 over the Falcons, which equaled 25, to close out the 97th NFL season, the 25th prime. We're keeping a lot of it fresh here. Also, you know, another great thing you could tell your fans about, the race war symbolism you had in Super Bowl 50. Cam Newton, the first black QB to appear in a Super Bowl in the Bay Area, the 58th QB to start. Huey P. Newton equals 58, who founded the Black Panthers in the Bay Area, who's a relative of Cam Newton. Your fans got to know these things. They got to know these things, what you guys are doing there, you clever devils. It's sick and inspiring all at once. You guys are the real deal. The real deal. Tell me sometime, too. Are you proud of being in the synagogue of Satan? Is it all that it's cracked up to be? I'd love to know. Give me a call back. You got the number. Until next time. So anyway, I don't feel as funny as I did that one day when I called about the Packers. That one had me in too good of a mood. But, you know, these people are a bunch of sick fucks. And what we've learned in this world is sick fucks dominate dumb goyim. You know, dumb goyim just don't learn. Dumb goyim, evidence doesn't have any meaning to them. You know, call 5 years straight of championships across all sports, college, pro, doesn't mean anything to him. It's a coincidence. I think it's just a coincidence. The games are real. It's impossible. It's impossible to rig a sports game. You guys all have Netflix, right? So you've all had Ken Burns' baseball documentary on your Netflix for like a decade. I forget, it's like the first or second episode. Talks about how baseball has been rigged by conspiracy since the 1800s. You got quotes from the people who ran the leagues in there about why they scripted every game to create the fan excitement, to draw on the fan interest. Every night you got the announcer saying you couldn't have scripted it any better. You guys just don't catch on. And I know how it is. You know, my father's the same thing. You know, my father doesn't catch on to anything either. He just, you know, he's just always gotten abused by the world and taken it. He still likes the sports games. I'm pretty sure he even knows that they're rigged now, but he still wants to watch them. So trust me, I know how it is. The problems are close to home, but I guess before I go, I can check the chat, see what you guys got going on here. Maybe somebody's got a great numerology observation from the world of sports this weekend that I didn't talk about here. Let's see. How do I do this? Austin says, people at his school say it's impossible to script sports. Yeah, that's because all across the world, people are retarded. Yeah, wrestling fans, they know it's fake. They still go and watch. Exactly. Somebody said that anger is not helping anything. You know what else doesn't help anything? It doesn't seem that putting out the truth helps anything. You know, putting out the truth doesn't seem to help out anything either. Yeah, we had the Redskins losing to the Falcons this week. Didn't the Falcons win with 38 points? Falcons also equals 38. We had that this week. I did listen to the announcers talking about the sacrifice, but that video is not going to convince anybody of anything because they don't say blood sacrifice. They just say, are we talking about something else? Trust me, that's not obvious enough for the dumb goyim. They're not going to get anything out of that. I watched it. Austin says people aren't dumb. Austin, people are fucking retarded, dude. People are fucking retarded, man. They're dumber than dumb. Trust me, I know, man. I'm not dumb. I know how dumb people are. I hate all the stuff that people aren't dumb, dude. Sorry, man. I'm not a glass full person, a glass empty person. I'm a realist. I see how dumb people are. I mean, people are dumb as rocks. You got to be so dumb to fall for everything that's done to us in this nation. You got to be dumb to not question it from day one. I noticed that people were dumb when I was just a little kid. You know, by the time I was 7, I saw that I was smarter than almost everybody else around me. And I don't think I'm so smart. It's just more that I see how dumb everyone else is. And I've always wondered what's up with that. Yeah, Adam Green, case in point, not a very smart guy. I mean, and people are dumping money on this guy. I mean, how can you dump money on a guy that just crawled out of Alex Jones's asshole who voted for Donald Trump? Only the dumbest people in the world voted for Donald Trump. You had to be so fucking retarded to vote for that guy. You got to be pretty dumb to vote, period. I mean, the elections are obviously a rigged joke. Like I said, pretty much everything in this world proves how dumb people are. They eat like shit. They have no common sense. They fall for rigged sports games. They hate the truth. They can't see that when buildings are turned to dust in the air, obviously a man in a cave in Afghanistan is not responsible for that. It's a society of retards. It's the Idiocracy. If you haven't seen that film, you got to check it out. Jeremy's right. They do a piece of mocking about the numerology almost every single week, but normally not with the full visual display and everything. Yeah, that's another good stat about Drew Brees. And the square root of 81 is what? 9 in week 9? That was something we talked about in our preview. That's why the Saints game was an easy pick. Just everything lined up for them. The Rams had nothing going in their favor. Hold on. Where did Chigozi's message go? Chigozi was saying something. My friend who I shared this knowledge with a couple years ago texted me about how he saw the numerology lesson on SNF. Some people will catch on as long as they are aware of this practice. Yeah. It's been fixed since the beginning. Been fixed since the 1800s. Thanks for the book sale. Basketball sums to 44, not in any ciphers that I know of, but maybe it does in one of the other ciphers. Scottie Pippen's wife divorced him, huh? Somebody writes, there's a mix of dumb and smart. Yeah, the ratio of smart is about 1 in 100. The dumb's about 99 in 100. Yeah, I did call Adam Green last night because he is. I mean, last night he showed that he's just a dumb person. I mean, honestly. And, I mean, he had no train of thought. Who asks somebody a question, and then while having the person answer the question, he cuts them off and asks a new question? It's like, what are we doing here? So anyway, I was still able to flow with it and still put out information, but I wasn't ever able to build to the point that connects things. And, I mean, shill or moron, it doesn't matter. He's in no place to be in the truth community. He just doesn't have enough common sense. So, but dumb people identify with dumb people, so. And it's not just that he's dumb. It's kind of like he's a girl. He has like this soft girly voice. And I mean, if you just saw his video about getting doxxed, I mean, it looks like he eats estrogen. I mean, I don't even know what to say. And then people are dumping money on him. It's like, dude, it's not even that big of a deal. You're going to get doxxed doing this work. I've been doxxed 1,000 times. I've had a million things happen to me. Never asked for any money. People give this guy $2,000 while he's crying for 15 minutes. Oh my God, dude. This guy says he's building a truth channel when he gets to 1 million subs. I don't know how many subs you got, man. I'm gonna look right now. Are you getting near 1 million subs? Let's see what's going on here. Okay, we got a long ways to go, but hey, I'm cheering for you, man. YouTube will probably squash you if you put out too much truth. Somebody left a comment. People should get educated. That's why I voted. I'm just going to assume that's trolling. You should have seen our decode on Beto the puppet there. All these elections are puppets, born and bred to be, both sides of the aisle. Voting is just validating a lie. Voting's proof that you're not educated, you're indoctrinated. So I don't identify with your comment at all. You're speaking ignorance. Gematria can be used for divination, but it's not just that. I saw John Cox in the chat representing all last night. And I saw some people I know leaving pretty weak comments too. I was just like, ugh. Somebody complimented Adam on being so patient last night, who's even in my Gematria school class. I was just like, God, who am I teaching here? Patient? This guy can't even let me finish a sentence. There's no patience. Don't ask me for sports picks. Sign up for Patreon. We don't do it for free anymore. Just Me says, maybe I struggle with pride. I already said that, you know, I've already said that before. Sure I do, you know. What I don't struggle with is common sense or speaking facts. So. Somebody says, why do I hate Trump so much? The same reason I hate sheep, because it's pathetic. That's why. Why do I hate Trump so much? The chump. Born with a silver spoon, liar that sheep follow. I mean, why do you even have to ask me that question is the better question. Have I seen the clip of Jalen Rose's MK Ultra being activated? I haven't, but they are using Jalen Rose on ESPN for some weird stuff. They have that guy saying some strange things, some programming things. Oh, I see that this guy in the chat's a troll. I'm obsessed with Rigged Sports Game. For all the retards out there that feel that way, what I'm doing is I'm waking people up to the fact these games are rigged. A lot of my best followers are people who found my sports work and are now into more things than just watching rigged sports. They've got more into the truth. So, you know, people like you with your opinions, you're irrelevant. You know, what have you done in the world besides nothing, besides troll the channel, you know? Besides have too small of a mind, too little common sense to understand the strategy. You know, I don't feel that most of you are in any place to criticize me for any reason. You know, well, the thing about last night with Adam Green, somebody said I rocked it with my debate with him. First of all, it wasn't even supposed to be a debate. He asked me to come on to talk about censorship going on, but then he started off with a question that didn't have anything to do with censorship, and then it was just like playing pinball questions. Because I mean, the guy like had a new question ready to go off every minute. It's like we should have had a timer up on the screen that I had to answer the question before the next question was coming out a minute later. So. Thanks, Harmon, for signing up for the Patreon. For those of you who don't like the asshole me, I don't act like the asshole me on the Patreon version. On this version, I have to ring. Thanks for that book sale. By the way, you guys, hold on. I don't know what the number is for this phone. I just set up another phone number that I'm going to use. Hold on. I'm going to call. Hold on. How do I do this again? I know what I need to do. Hold on here. I'm going to give you guys this phone number. This phone number is not for calling. It's for texting. And it's easy for me to scan through text. So if you troll me, I don't care. I'll just ignore your text. I'll just block your number. But I am setting up this phone number for people who want to get a hold of me fast with important information. But I'm not going to pick up for phone calls. I'm only going to take text. Hold on. I don't know what the number is yet off the top of my head. I forgot what it is. So I have to call my other number so I can see what number shows up. Aha. All right. So I got a text line to take important Gematria information because some of you guys are like, God, I was trying to get a hold of you for so long and I couldn't get a hold of you, and this is so important. So if you ever have something really important that you need to get to me, don't call me. Text me. This is the number. 509. Write this down if you want to get a hold of me. I'm going to have this line for as long as we go forward. 509 is the area code. 731-0567. That's the number. And I kind of laughed when I got that number. I was like, oh, that number has a little rhyme and reason to it in the numbers. 567. 509-731-0567. If you ever have something really important that I need to cover or something big in the world that I missed or something, especially if you're a Gematria form out there, always trying to get my attention, now you have a way to connect with me real quick. So that's the Gematria text line. You got to get something to me, I'll get that. Scottie Pippen's wife left him for Future the rapper. Hilarious. Somebody says, you asked for money, Zach. What do I do, though? First of all, I did this for 5 years for free. Show me anybody in the history of the world who worked harder than me for 5 years for free, 7 days a week, about 80 hours a week. Who ever did it? Anybody? Who paid to work? Who paid themselves to work 80 hours a week for the good of humanity? Somebody tried to call me right away. Don't call, just text. But put that on silent in case other people keep doing it. After running out of money, yeah, I said that we're trying to take this to the next level. Obviously, I have to do something different. I put out the truth for 5 years. I should have proven my point a million times over. We didn't get where we needed to be. It's, it's a joke. So I got to do things different. I got to build up some revenue and figure out how to take this to the next level. So you never saw me come on and cry and ask for money after any bad shit happened to me. Burglarized, jailed, car crashed through the house. You've seen a lot of fucking idiots come out of the woodwork and say, oh yeah, we made a video saying that Zach crashed into his own house. I mean, can people shut the fuck up? Why would I crash into my own house on Christmas Eve? That was the biggest inconvenience in my life. I had to fight with insurance for 6 months. I had to pay $7,000 in my own pocket. And some of you guys subscribe to these dumb fucking theories that I rented a bulldozer and crashed in my own house. Can you just imagine somebody doing that? Renting a bulldozer, First of all, I didn't even have a car to pull a bulldozer, but then you'd have to unload it off the trailer. Then you'd have to drive it at the rate of 1 mile per hour into your house. Can you imagine doing this? And then you'd have to load it back up on the trailer and drive off. Only a fucking retard would ever think that anybody would do that to their own house. And again, most people are fucking retards, which is part of the purpose of this video. That's why so many people identify with that bullshit story. Here I am, a person who's never lied about anything, put my face on the camera, gave you my real name, even put my address out there after I was doxxed 1,000 times. I was like, well, fuck it. Everybody can have my address. And, people come and say I'm a shill because they trust some guy that uses an account name like Russian shitbag and hides behind their camera. You don't know who their face is, Really dumb fucking people in this world. So a Blackman writes, Zach, I paid for my book 3 weeks ago. I haven't received it. Well, that's because you haven't checked your email. It's been in there since the day you ordered it, since the moment you ordered it. Go to Etsy, download the book. It's right there in your email. And I've said probably 1,000 times. I mean, it's also posted right on the screen when you buy it. It's posted right on the screen. Instant download, PDF book. Plus, I got the directions right there. If you have any trouble downloading the book, email me here. You guys, if you're going to buy a book to read what's on the screen, the 3 bullet points there right next to the purchase button, because it's all just right there. I appreciate that you bought the book, man. I appreciate that you supported. I feel bad that you've had to wait 3 weeks, but, you've been waiting 3 weeks for nothing. It's been there in your email the whole time. Awesome, Chigozi. Chigozi let him know about that. The rituals there with the football game. Zach Keith, go sign up for my Patreon page. Somebody said, don't let these dudes get to me. I'm not letting anybody get to me. I'm just voicing how frustrated I am. I don't understand why all these shield channels get so much support, so much funding. You got fucking retard from Boston going out and buying a super expensive vehicle off of all the dipshits who sent him money. We're trying to do a real thing here with real evidence, real information. I can't get you guys to go out and buy the fucking book. It's fucking pathetic. I saw somebody donate that dipshit that interviewed me last night $20 at the end of the chat to ask him a dumb fucking question about Gematria. Why not just go buy my book for $10 fucking and get the answer? So it's just like, God, people are dumb. Man in the Cloud said he tried telling people technology is used in sports and they all laughed at him. Of course, people always laugh at the truth. You know? People are sad. They're fucking pathetic. That's why the Talmud is the truest spiritual text. It says the truth about humanity. It is true. And it's like there's plenty of dumb fucking Jews too. They're cattle as well. But there's obviously a superior level of human being that looks at the rest of humanity like they are jack shit, and they should. And I got to tell you, I'm in that group, honestly, because I've looked at humanity as if they're pathetic since I was young, and for good reason. You know, I used to be in a classroom and I used to feel like, God, do I have to raise my hand again to answer the question? Can anybody else answer the fucking teacher's question so we can move on here and go to recess? God. Class, what's 2 + 2? You look around, 30 people. They can't put up their hand to say 4. You know, my whole life. I'll answer again. I'll answer again. Then you grow up and 9/11 happens and you realize all the fucking retard cattle around you can't see the obvious. They can't see the 2 + 2. And then you tell them what 2 + 2 is and they go, oh, you're crazy. It's like, Jesus Christ, you guys are worthless. Thanks, Miss Mildred. Appreciate your support. You're awesome. Exactly. Cash Brown says, you know, people won't even try to apply this knowledge, and that's what sucks. People are fucking lazy. They're lazy. They're stupid. They're pathetic. I get sick of hearing people say, Zach, that's not true about humanity. Shut up. You must be part of them. God, people are a joke. Yeah, the Patreon subscribers are back up. I'm guessing a lot of people are like on 1-month payment cycles because Patreon will just drop you if your payment cycle's not up. So a lot of people probably got their payments right and then came back. That'll probably happen at the end of each month. So got to learn how all that works. All right, guys, I'm just reading over the comments. You got the number if you need to send a text for sports. So far, 2 people have done it. You got the Gematria text line. I'll check that as much as I can to see if anybody's got something huge for me. For the people saying I need to smoke some weed, trust me, when I'm in a bad mood and I smoke weed, it doesn't help anything. Sometimes I get even angrier. But yeah, man, I'm just so irritated with people, and just I'm just tired of making just dealing with the YouTube community. It's like they only support the wrong choice, which is pretty much just true of all of humanity. You give them 2 choices, they're going to pick the wrong one almost every time. Let's see what this call is. It's New York. I'm just wondering. Hello? Oh, shit. It was 212, so I was thinking that maybe it was the NFL calling me back. But it was another Blue Cross Blue Shield. I'm sure everybody's getting that call right now. I get like 1,000 of them a day. Somebody said, can they ask me about something else? You can send me on the text line. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. If you want to know what Patreon is, go down. Somebody left a question. What's Patreon? Go down and where it says support my Patreon here, click on it and read about it. That's where you get all this exclusive content. I teach people how to do Gematria. I teach them how to decode sports, etc., etc. Thanks, Mary. Appreciate your comments. I appreciate all your comments, you guys. If I could be one age right now, what age would I be? 26. Before I knew about Gematria and numerology, I had a really good year when I was 26. And I was like, this is the greatest year of my life. And now I learned how special that number is. I was like, well, maybe that is why it was the greatest year of my life. 26 is a good age to be, I think. You're young. You're in your physical prime. My 26-year-old me would whoop my ass today, that's for sure. But my 26-year-old me didn't know Gematria yet. So anyway, hope I didn't get you guys down. I don't mean to spread negativity. I am in a negative mood, but sometimes I just got to vent. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.